A broken wall reveals a deadly secret next door, and the girl he admires is a killer. The story opens inside a filthy, dim apartment packed with trash bags that barely leave space to walk. The windows are stained so badly that almost no sunlight gets in. Old calendar pages are taped across the wall, helping track the days. A young man named Ren Kuroda lives here. After failing to secure admission into a university, he spiraled into severe isolation and depression. He has cut off everyone in his life, including his parents. Ren believes his existence has no meaning. Nothing excites him anymore, and every day feels empty. One afternoon, lying on his bed, he mindlessly recites the digits of pi. Then, in a dark moment, he decides to end his life. He wraps a belt around his neck and ties it to a shelf. But as he lets his weight drop, he struggles violently, causing the shelf to rip from the wall and crash down. Gasping for air, Ren notices something unusual. A thin beam of light slips into his room. The fallen shelf has created a small hole in the wall, leading directly into the neighboring apartment. Curious, he peeks through. On the other side, he sees a beautiful young woman named Mina Aizawa. She's calmly eating her meal. Ren is instantly captivated, watching her in silence. From Mina's side, the hole is hidden behind a bookshelf, making it almost impossible to notice. From that day on, Ren secretly observes her daily life. He's shocked that someone like her lives right next door. The next morning, she leaves carrying books and a bag, and Ren assumes she's a student. With nothing better to do, he spends his days watching her. He notices she rarely goes out except for school and never seems to meet anyone. He concludes she has no friends. Then one day, she suddenly disappears from view. Panicked and desperate to know where she went, Ren steps outside his apartment for the first time in ages. He quietly approaches her door, trying to hear something. As he attempts to peek through the mail slot, a girl downstairs catches him acting suspiciously. Her name is Yui Tanaka, and she's visiting her brother who lives below. She had brought him food, but after getting no response, she leaves the bag hanging on the doorknob and walks away. Hungry, Ren quickly steals the food and starts eating. But suddenly he freezes. Mina is standing right in front of him, watching. After an awkward introduction, she realizes he's her neighbor and surprisingly invites him over for lunch. Ren immediately agrees. While she prepares the meal, he looks around her apartment and spots the exact hole connecting their rooms. Mina casually points out his worn-out clothes, but the mood remains light. Soon, they sit down and share a warm, home-cooked meal. For the first time in a long while, Ren feels genuinely happy. Before he leaves, Mina suggests they spend time together again. From that point on, Ren begins visiting her regularly for meals, though he secretly continues spying on her. One day, he finally asks why she even wants to be around someone like him. He admits he dropped out of prep school and doesn't even have a job. Mina simply says that despite the short time they've known each other, their connection feels real, and that means something to her. Her words hit him deeply. Determined to change, Ren returns home and covers the hole in the wall with paper, deciding to stop spying on her. That night, during a heavy thunderstorm, he sits alone, restless. He tries to resist, but then hears her door open. Unable to control himself, he removes the paper and looks through. Mina walks in, wearing a transparent raincoat and holding a box cutter. Moments later, a man in a suit follows her inside. Without warning, she attacks. With swift, precise movements, she slashes his throat and kills him. Blood splatters across her raincoat as she smiles coldly. Ren is horrified. In panic, he accidentally hits the wall. A book falls on Mina's shelf, blocking his view. Shortly after, a mysterious van arrives, and several men carry boxes into her apartment. Back in his room, Ren is shaken and confused, struggling to process what he just witnessed. Then, there's a knock at his door. It's Mina. She looks completely normal, holding a pot of food and smiling warmly. She asks if they can eat together in his apartment sometimes. Still in shock, Ren agrees. They set up a small dinner under candlelight. Mina eats calmly, as if nothing happened. Meanwhile, Ren can't stop thinking about the murder. During the meal, she gently addresses his anxiety, explaining how loneliness can distort a person's sense of reality. She says being around him makes her feel normal. After she leaves, Ren knocks over the book blocking his view and looks again. Everything appears normal. Mina is simply drinking tea. He starts to doubt himself, thinking maybe it was all just a hallucination. But moments later, he hears a voice saying goodbye to her. Ren rushes to his door and catches a glimpse of a mysterious woman, Reina Mori, walking away. She briefly looks back at him before leaving. The next morning, Mina casually meets Ren outside and offers him the chance to use her washing machine. She also suggests they eat together again. As he washes his clothes, the memory of the murder flashes in his mind, but his growing feelings for her cloud his judgment. Later that night, while waiting for her, Ren hears her door open again. He looks through the hole. This time, there's no doubt. Mina is killing another man, wearing the same raincoat, moving with the same deadly precision. She slashes his throat and smiles again. Ren finally accepts the truth. She's a killer. Terrified, he screams, alerting her. Slowly, Mina approaches the wall. She pushes her box cutter through the hole and locks eyes with him. Panic takes over. Ren bolts out of his apartment, running for his life as Mina chases him through the streets, blade in hand. Using the emergency exit, he sprints toward the rooftop. Ren dashes up to the rooftop, but Mina is right behind him, cutting off his escape. Calmly, she asks if he saw everything. Ren admits the truth. He's been watching her for a long time, and he already knows she's a killer. Instead of anger, Mina seems intrigued. She finds it strange that, even after knowing the truth, he still chose to sit and eat with her. As she slowly steps closer, preparing to end his life, Ren blurts out his past. He tells her about the day he tried to hang himself, and how discovering the hole in the wall led him to her. From that moment, he says everything changed. Seeing her gave him a reason to keep living. Being near her felt better than dying. But now that he fully understands what she is, that fragile hope begins to crumble again. Overwhelmed, Ren drops to his knees, shuts his eyes, and accepts his fate. Mina approaches, pressing the blade lightly against his neck. But something feels off. Ren doesn't react. No fear, no resistance. Just quiet acceptance.
Curious, Mina purse.
She asks him how he truly feels in this moment. Without hesitation, Ren answers he wants to date her. The response catches her completely off guard. After a brief silence, Mina unexpectedly agrees. She leans in and slowly licks the blood from a cut on his lip, one he got while running from her. Just as things begin to turn intimate, she stops him and gives him a strange condition. He must continue watching her. The next day, Yui finally manages to meet her brother, Daichi Tanaka, who seems perfectly fine, casually playing with a cat. She scolds him for not staying in touch, reminding him that their parents are worried. After handing him the food she brought, she notices Ren nearby and greets him briefly. Later, Ren uses Mina's washing machine to clean his clothes. Afterward, they share another quiet meal together in his apartment. Mina casually mentions how clearly he could see through the hole. Embarrassed, Ren apologizes and promises to fix it, but she stops him.
She
Wants it to stay. Ren can hardly believe he's now dating someone like her. He openly tells Mina that he likes everything about her, which leaves her slightly flustered. Determined to improve himself, he promises to get a job and become someone worthy of her. Soon, Ren starts working at a small convenience store. But every time he handles a box cutter, disturbing memories of Mina's killings flood his mind. Even so, he continues the relationship. One night after work, he returns home and finds Mina waiting by the hole in the wall. Ren suggests they should just be together in the same room, but Mina refuses. She insists that now that they're dating, it's better they stay apart at night. The next day, she asks him to come with her to the university. Ren assumes it's a date, but it turns out she simply wants help carrying a microwave to her lab. Being surrounded by students again makes Ren extremely self-conscious. The environment brings back all his insecurities. But things shift when Mina confidently introduces him as her boyfriend in front of everyone. For a moment, he feels proud. During lunch, Ren watches her with affection, convinced he might be the first person she's ever dated. He tells her about his plan to retake the entrance exam next year. He wants to build a future where he deserves to stand beside her.
Mina looks.
She finds the idea amusing. She reminds him bluntly, she's a murderer, and she has no intention of ever stopping. She even admits she's been doing this for a long time. Later that day, after classes, Mina asks if he's hungry. As they walk together, everything feels strangely normal until she suddenly stops and puts on her clear raincoat. Without warning, she grabs a random woman nearby and kills her in broad daylight, blood splashing across the wall. Ren freezes in shock, turning his face away. Mina casually asks if he's okay, as if nothing unusual just happened. From that moment on, things escalate. During their outings, Mina begins killing people. Openly, right in the middle of the street. Anyone she chooses becomes a target. Rin starts questioning how she selects her victims, but Mina explains she follows her own twisted rules. She even keeps a list, mostly targeting local criminals. Trying to cope, Rin wonders if he can see her as some kind of vigilante and ally of justice. They both laugh, but deep down, he knows that idea doesn't sit right. At work, Rin notices something even more disturbing. None of these murders ever appear in the news. It's as if the victims never existed. One afternoon, on his way home, he runs into Daichi again. They casually chat about cats, sharing a brief moment of normalcy. Later, Rin meets Mina at the park. Sitting beside her, sharing chocolate and coffee ice cream, everything feels peaceful on the surface. But inside, his thoughts won't stop. Every time he looks at her, all he can see is the blood, the killings, the truth he can't escape. And yet the only thing keeping him from walking away is her smile. Rin feels a quiet warmth when Mina appreciates the ice cream he brought just for them. For the first time in a long while, his life begins to stabilize. With a steady job now, he even saves enough to buy himself a new phone. One day at the convenience store, Yui Tanaka stops by to buy snacks. Rin hands them to her for free, still feeling guilty about stealing her food before. That night, he returns home and realizes his electricity has finally been restored. Excited, he calls out to Mina, but there's no answer. Curious, he looks through the hole. There's a note inside her room, telling him to stay in his apartment at 10 p.m. Later, as he prepares for bed, he peeks again and freezes. Daichi Tanaka is lying on Mina's bed, tied up. Mina has kidnapped him. Panicking, Rin begs her not to do anything. He reminds her that killing is wrong, especially when it's someone innocent. But Mina ignores him completely. Calm and focused, she goes ahead and kills Daichi right in front of him. Rin is devastated. Moments later, Reina Mori arrives with her team in a black van. They quickly clean up the entire scene, efficiently removing all evidence. Rin finally understands why none of the murders ever make it to the news. Unable to hold back, he storms into Mina's apartment demanding answers. Reina mocks him, questioning whether he's brave or just foolish. She explains that Mina is highly skilled, fast, precise, and efficient. Her team's job is simply to dispose of the bodies and erase all traces. Without hesitation, she orders her men to cut up Daichi's body. Rin is horrified. Reina then asks if he finds it strange that Mina has never been caught despite killing so many people. She reveals the truth. There are people who actually need fresh bodies. When Rin asks where Mina is, Reina casually says she's probably out eating. Killing makes her hungry. Before leaving, Rin demands to know why Mina would kill someone like Daichi. In response, Reina takes him downstairs to Daichi's apartment and shows him something disturbing. All this time, Daichi had been secretly torturing stray cats. Rin is shaken. Reina, however, doesn't understand his reaction. To her, it changes nothing. She coldly tells him that sooner or later, he'll end up dead too, because Mina doesn't interact with people without a purpose. The next morning, Mina knocks on Ren's door, but he doesn't respond. Determined, she climbs from her balcony into his room. He pretends to be sick, lying in bed, avoiding her gaze. Mina lies beside him, trying to comfort him. Gathering courage, Ren tells her directly, killing people is wrong. Mina challenges him. She asks if he only feels that way because this time, the victim was someone he knew. Ren admits he doesn't feel sorry for Daichi, but insists there should still be rules. Mina pushes further. Who decides those rules? She explains that every country has different laws and they constantly change. To her, true justice doesn't exist. It's all subjective. Ren, however, stands firm. He tells her he doesn't want to see her kill anymore. That answer hurts her. Without another word, Mina gets up and leaves. Even after everything, Ren admits to himself he still cares about her. The next day, he runs into Yui. She anxiously asks if he has heard from her brother. Ren struggles to respond, trying to escape the conversation, but before things get worse, Mina suddenly appears. There's a subtle tension in her expression. Yui politely introduces herself, mentioning that her brother lives in the building. Hearing this, Mina casually invites her to wait in her apartment, but Ren quickly intervenes, sending Yui away and promising to inform her if he hears anything. Later that evening, While eating with Mina, Ren can't stop worrying. If Yui keeps digging, she might uncover the truth. He asks Mina directly if she plans to kill her too. Mina reminds him of her rules. Killing randomly would make her careless, and she takes pride in being precise. She assures him that Yui is safe. A few days later, Yui texts Ren, asking to meet and talk about her brother. Before he can decide, someone suddenly grabs him and drags him into a black van. It's Reina. She warns him coldly. If he doesn't become someone worthy of Mina, she'll kill him herself. When Ren brings up Yui's search, Reina tells him not to worry. Then, with a chilling smirk, she adds that while he may be useless alive, he could still be valuable as a corpse.
Later, Ren meets Yui for tea.
She's desperate for answers. She explains that she already filed a missing person report, but withdrew it, thinking her brother might have just gone on a trip. She asks Ren to accompany her to speak with the landlord. Reluctantly, he agrees. When they enter Daichi's apartment, everything looks completely normal. Reina's team has erased all evidence. The tools used to harm cats are gone, and a fake plane ticket sits on the table, staging the illusion that Daichi left voluntarily. Afterward, Ren walks with Yui. She still seems worried, but he reassures her as best as he can. Before leaving, he asks her to keep him updated. But she declines. She doesn't want to upset Mina, his girlfriend. Ren admits that even though he's dating Mina, he doesn't truly understand her. There's something deeply unsettling about her nature. That night, Ren spots a man with a familiar B tattoo, the same mark he saw on one of Mina's earlier victims. The man casually wraps his arm around Mina, and to Ren's surprise, she doesn't resist. Later during dinner, Ren asks her about it. Mina avoids the question, simply stating that as a university student, she's free to interact with anyone she wants. Suspicion creeps in. Ren nervously asks if she's planning to leave him. Mina immediately turns it back on him, accusing him of getting too close to Yui. Ren denies it, explaining he only spoke to her to protect her. Mina points out that Reina already covered everything, yet he's still involving himself. Realizing something isn't right, Ren confronts her. That only makes things worse. Irritated, Mina walks away, telling him to cut ties with Yui completely. When Ren tries to comfort her, she allows him close, but the moment he leans in to kiss her, she stops him and quietly reminds him not to cross the line. That night, Mina meets with a dangerous group known as the Black Fang Crew. She calmly tells them she's rejecting their offer to become their personal assassin. The leader doesn't take it lightly. He reminds her that she already killed one of their members, meaning she's involved whether she likes it or not. He gives her a clear ultimatum: work for them, or they expose everything and kill Ren. The next day, Mina waits outside Ren's workplace and walks him home. When they arrive, they find Yui Tanaka waiting at the door. Trying to act normal, they invite her in. As the three sit together for tea, Yui shows them a postcard supposedly sent by her brother. It's fake, planted by Reina's team to cover up the truth. Yui looks anxious, unsure what to tell her parents, especially since her brother hasn't contacted her. Suddenly, she collapses. Ren panics, but quickly realizes the truth. Mina drucket hertea. She plans to kill her. Desperate, Ren tries to stop her, reminding her that she doesn't kill people just to silence them. But Mina coldly responds. She makes her own rules. Ren argues that if she keeps killing like this, the police will eventually catch on.
Mina snaps.
She threatens to kill him right there, pressing the blade to a vital point on his neck. But Ren doesn't back down. After a tense standoff, Mina finally gives in and steps away. When Yui wakes up, the atmosphere shifts again. In an emotional moment, she confesses her feelings to Ren. Before he can respond, Reina and her team arrive, clearly expecting to clean up another body. Seeing Yui alive, Reina gives Ren a sharp warning. She tells him not to confuse Mina, pointing out that this is the first time Mina has ever hesitated to kill someone. According to her, Mina will never truly connect with him. She even threatens him, telling him to stay away from Mina. Later, Mina meets Reina privately and apologizes for not going through with the kill. As they share ice cream, Reina reminds her of one thing: she's the one who decides who lives and dies. But hesitation creates problems, and unclean outcomes make the bodies useless. Elsewhere, Ren meets Yui at a cafe. She sincerely confesses that her feelings for him are real. Gently, Ren turns her down, explaining that he only helped her because of her brother. Yui is confused. She reminds him that he once admitted Mina wasn't right for him. She believes he's just being pulled deeper into something dangerous. Before leaving, she tells him she'll return to the cafe the next day if he changes his mind. On his way home, a van suddenly pulls up beside him. At first, Ren assumes it's Reina again, but this time, it's the Black Fawn crew. They abduct him and drag him to their bar. Their demand is simple: convince Mina to work for them. Ren refuses, without hesitation. In response, they threaten to expose everything to the police. Then they slash his cheek and throw him out. When Ren gets home, Mina sees the injury and immediately prepares to hunt them down. But Ren stops her. He tells her he'd rather suffer himself than watch her keep killing. Mina reminds him, killing is part of who she is. Without it, she doesn't feel like herself. But Ren pushes back. He reminds her that she's spared Yui. That means she can change. He confesses how much he truly cares about her, but Mina doesn't believe him. To her, he doesn't understand or accept who she really is. She insists they have no future together. With tears in her eyes, she leaves, telling him to cover the hole in the wall. Later that night, while working at the store, Ren is approached by Reina again. As she casually buys ice cream, she mentions that Mina has requested a major cleanup operation soon. Ren still struggles with everything, but Reina insists what he and Mina share is rare and unbreakable. That night, Ren hears strange noises from Mina's apartment. He looks through the hole. Mina is killing again, but something is different. This time, she isn't smiling. She's crying. Ren realizes the truth. The Black Fawn crew must have forced her into it. In that moment, everything becomes clear to him. Mina may never change, and she may not need him, but he needs her. After calling Yui to cancel their meeting, Ren heads straight to the Black Fawn bar. He begs them to stop using Mina, but when they refuse, he pulls out a cutter and tries to fight them himself. It's hopeless. They overpower him easily, beating him down. The leader grabs him, preparing to slit his throat the same way Mina does her victims. Then suddenly, the power goes out. A strange gas fills the room, and one by one, the gang members collapse. Through the darkness, Mina appears, wearing her clear raincoat. At first, she's surprised to see Ren there. But the moment she notices his injuries, her expression changes. She becomes furious. With deadly precision, she takes down every member of the gang, using both her blade and Ren's cutter. The leader is the last to fall. Afterward, she helps Ren onto a couch. She admits something important. This time, she didn't enjoy the killing. But that doesn't mean she'll stop. In the quiet aftermath, they confess their feelings again. Then they kiss. And in the next instant, Mina stabs him. She smiles faintly, admitting she always wanted to kill someone she loved. But as she watches him bleed, her expression shifts. It doesn't feel the way she imagined.
Strangely, Ren smiles.
Even now, he feels happy because her feelings are real. As they both weaken, they express their love one last time. Days later, Reina spots Mina, leaving with a suitcase. Beside her, Ren follows on crutches, alive. They arrange to have their old apartment cleaned out. Reina jokes that he shouldn't stop spying on Mina just because they're moving in together. As they walk away side by side, Mina makes one final promise. She won't kill anyone else, but someday, she will kill him. Ren smiles and accepts it, telling her that if that day comes, his life belongs only to her. They pause, suddenly realizing something almost absurd. They never even properly introduce themselves. For the first time, they share their real names. They laugh, shake hands, and step forward together into something uncertain, dangerous, and strangely new.